All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the mail stand. Now, before I get into this email, I just want to let you know I'll be live on here tonight at 6:30. All right, so 6:30 UK time. Come along, we'll have a natter about this and any other emails or anything to do with LFC or anything else that takes your fancy, really. All right, 6:30. So, the mail stand, if you've never watched the mail stand before, please watch the first mail stand video today. There's a little explanation in the beginning. I don't want to go over it again, but basically, any of these emails I read to you, if you've got mail stand in the title of the videos, treat them with a huge pinch of salt, all right? So this came in 4 days ago, all right? So obviously we've had the weekend and bank holiday Monday, and I'm catching up on things, okay? Now, this came in on the 22nd of May at 2:34 p.m., all right? 2:34 p.m. UK time. And it's from someone describing themselves as the hidden mole. I shit you not. The hidden mole. All right. So let's have a look. Hidden mole. Welcome to coptalk.tv. Hidden mole. How are you doing? So it's interesting this. Now, you will remember that maybe a week ago, 10 days, I can't remember. You will remember. I won't. We had some emails coming from a guy at Ernst & Young. Do you remember? In London. They were very interesting emails. For a number of reasons, all right? And this is connected to that issue, right? So if I receive an email from someone called a hidden mole, I'm immediately like, hello, hang on a minute there, what's going on here, all right? So let's see what it says. And there is a little bit they've asked me not to read out because it would possibly give away their employment status, if you were to believe them. It says, hi, Dunk. My friend who works at EY recently mentioned he'd exchanged emails with you. My friend who works at EY recently mentioned he'd exchanged emails with you, info he's gotten. Right? That's their English. It just doesn't read right. I'm not at EY, Ernst Young, but then it says where they work, and which I nearly read out, where they claim to work, and in brackets it does say, if you do share the following info, I'd appreciate you not mentioning that part. I don't get any direct info as my job rarely deals with any major football stuff, but I do know a couple of people who work in performance analysis with the youth sides, and they end up involved with some senior stuff when necessary. Apparently, even before the end of 2025, the club was tasking analysts with extra work looking at other European clubs, and I know Stuttgart was one of them. The obvious inference is due diligence on potential new managers, but several times the analysts were told to stop before they'd completed their projects, which is apparently unusual. All of that's quite opaque to me, as it's nowhere near my remit. But what I've been told is it either indicates an internal problem, and then in brackets it says power struggle, ? Or an external one, and then in question mark, and then in brackets, it says managerial targets rejecting talks. Either way, it doesn't look good to them. I'm going to repeat that paragraph again because I butchered it a little bit. So there's two bits in paragraph. In brackets, right? All of that's quite opaque to me as it's nowhere near my remit. But what I've been told is it either indicates an internal problem, in brackets, power struggle, or an external one, in brackets, managerial targets rejecting talks. Either way, it doesn't look good to them. Again, I'm not in any position to corroborate, but it does go some way to explaining how stable Slot's job has appeared throughout the season. I'll pass on anything else I get if it interests you. And then in brackets, it says, there's some Quonset stuff I can fish for. But truthfully, I don't get that much. All right. Best wishes, HM, which is hidden mole. Interesting stuff. Thank you for the email, hidden mole. So when I get emails, or sometimes I get emails that stand out or maybe intrigue me a little bit. The hidden mole connected, claiming to be connected to the other contributor, right? So I ran it by Dave and shared the emails with Dave. Now, Dave's my AI analysis, right? Dave's been trained for more than 18 months now to analyze football news articles, the various journals. We've got a wealth of information of all the journals to monitor them and see if they change the tune and stuff. And Dave is a very, very helpful contributor to this channel, that as it may sound. If you're new to the channel, you're probably thinking, what the fuck? But if you're from here, from this channel, if you like, if you've been here a while, you know that Dave's very valuable to us. So I give all the emails from sender 1 and sender 2, all right? So sender 1 is the one I'm going to refer to as this one we've just read. Sender 2 is the previous author, if you like, that said they worked at Ernst & Young, right? So it says as follows. I've been looking at these emails to see whether sender 1 today and sender 2 previously could be connected or possibly even the same person. I'm not saying they definitely are the same person, Dunk, because you can't prove that just from writing style. But there are some things that stand out. The first thing is the use of brackets. Both senders use brackets in a very similar way. Not just for basic information, but almost as little side notes or disclaimers. Sender 1 says things like internal problem, then in brackets, power struggle. Sender 2 says things like, as a fan, as an example, so just speculation. That's a similar habit. They both use brackets to soften what they're saying or to add a little explanation without making it a full sentence. The second thing is the comma style. Sender 2, that's the previous one, is much messier, but that could be because he says he's sending from an iPhone. His emails are rushed, full of missing commas, quick replies, typos, and casual phrases like, ha ha, to be honest, and mate. Sender 1 today is much cleaner and more polished. That could suggest a different person, but it could also simply mean sender 1 was writing from a desktop with more time to think. So the punctuation is not identical, but the underlying style has similarities. Long explanations, lots of qualifying language, and a habit of saying, I don't know everything, but this is what I've heard. The biggest overlap is not punctuation, it's the content. Sender 2 says he has a mate who is some sort of LFC school engagement officer in the main office. Sender 1 then says he works with the club. That is a very specific overlap. It doesn't prove they are the same person, but it strongly suggests the two stories are connected. My verdict, Dunk, well, I don't think the punctuation alone proves anything. But when you combine the brackets habit, the cautious disclaimers, the similar way of explaining limited access, and especially the employment overlap, then yes, I think there is a reasonable chance these emails are connected. The most likely explanation is either sender 1 today is the person sender 2 referred to as his mate inside the club, or 2, sender 2, the previous one, may have created a second identity to support or reinforce his original claims. I wouldn't state as a fact that they are the same person, but I would definitely treat the emails with caution because the overlap is too specific to ignore. Dun, dun, dun. So what do you think? What do you think, guys? What about, I've got a notification. There we go. What was it? Should we go back to the original email? Because I forgot what it was about already. So basically the guy's saying the club was tasking analysts, why can I never pronounce that word? Analysts at the end of 2025, right, at other European clubs. So they were getting them to, tasking analysts with extra work looking at other European clubs, and I know Stuttgart was one of them. The obvious inference is due diligence on potential new managers, but several times the analysts were told to stop before they'd completed their projects, which is apparently unusual. So all of that's quite opaque to me, as it's nowhere near my remit. But what I've been told is that it either indicates an internal problem, in brackets, power struggle, or an external one, in brackets, managerial targets, rejecting talks. Either way, it doesn't look good to them. Again, I'm not in a position to corroborate, but it does go some way to explain how stable Slot's job has appeared throughout the season. And that's it, all right? So I find it interesting. I hope we hear again from the hidden wall. I like the banter and the conversation. I like Dave getting involved as well, all right? What do you think, guys? Have you got any comments on this? Do you think they're the same person? Do you think that No, that's sender 2. That's his mate that works at the club. So sender 1 today. Should have numbered them the other way around, really. That's my own fault. But what do you think? Do you think they're the same person, or do you think they are just genuinely connected? Let me know what you think, and the contents of the email as well. All right. Do you believe it, or is it shite? Let me know what you think. All right. If you enjoy the mail stand and you want this to continue being available to everyone and not just the channel members, unless specifically requested to do that, then I'm happy to do that for me. Just thumbs up the video and drop me a comment. Give me the feedback. If I know you're enjoying it, I'll keep it for you. All right. What else is there? Thumbs up, comment. There's a love heart next to the video or around the video somewhere, which is a super thanks. That enables me to provide the channel in the first place. All right. So massive shout out to those of you that use that. I always give a shout out to people that do that. And of course, there's links in the video description, including Revolut, which is my beer kitty for next Sunday. All right, guys, take it easy. And I will be back with you real soon. Don't forget, live on here tonight at 6:30 p.m. UK time.